Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is MaxiCode. Welcome to my channel, and in this video we're going to talk about what is new in PHP version 7. So well, first of all, I have to say that speed matters, and PHP 7 is much faster than PHP version 5. You can check benchmarks online, but in this video I will focus only on most important syntax changes. So well, let's start with a grouped use statement, and imagine we have a foo bar use statement, and we have another bar. So we have another use statement. So we want to import two different classes, and we can combine them into one use statement using the following PHP 7 syntax. So well, these two bodies are absolutely identical, and the second one, the latter one, can be used only as a syntax trigger, and it allows you to group several classes from the same namespace. Well, okay, let's go further, and the next syntax change is an introduction of a null coalescate operator. Is a null coalescate. So well, imagine we have an array. First we will keep it empty, and we have a bar variable, which will be if we have the foo key in the array $r, so we will use it. Otherwise we will have a default value. And right now I want to echo bar and just look at a little bit nice. I want to have a PHP end of line. So well, let's just check that out. Yeah, so we have a default value because our array is empty. Let's just add the foo key to this array and make it as a value 1 to 3. So well, it is 1 to 3 right now. Yeah, makes sense. And what is a null coalescate operator exactly? This is just a syntax trigger to make this little body look a little bit nicer, and so it looks like this. And I have to say that these two lines, the 7th line and the 8th line, are absolutely identical, and as you can see, the last line with the null coalescate operator is just a little bit shorter and look a little bit nicer, but this is absolutely identical, and let's just check that out. So yeah, we have a 1 to 3 because our array $r has the foo key, and if we get rid of that, we will get a default. So well, okay, yeah, this is just the second one, the second and null coalescate operator. And let's go to the next one. Is a spaceship. This is a spaceship operator, which allows you to compare two different values. And so imagine we want to compare 1 to 1, and using this operator we will receive 0 because these two values before this operator and after this operator are absolutely identical. And okay, let's just see what if we change 1. Yeah, we see as we receive 1 because the first value is greater than the second one, and otherwise we will receive a -1. So yeah, that is exactly what we want to see. And this is a spaceship operator introduced in PHP version 7. So well, and maybe the most important change for me, well, the greatest, the most wonderful, the most brilliant change is a scalar type. Hence, so imagine we have a function test which will receive several parameters. First a $a parameter and second a $b, and what we want to do. Okay, let's just name it a little bit nicer. This is a sum function, and what I want to do is to sum these two bodies, and let's just check that out. So we want to echo sum 1 and 2, and occasionally receive 3. Yeah, that is exactly what I'd like to see. And but well, as you can see, our function uh, waits for integers. So imagine I want to sum only integers, and I wanna say that integer sum. So I just implemented my function as a function which will receive only integers, and I want to check that. Well, I can do that by saying integer and integer before the first parameter and integer before the second one. So here we said that we want to receive two parameters as integers, and let's just check that this stuff works. Yeah, that works. And as we receive these two integers as two parameters, we will return an integer. So we can declare that by saying that at the end of the function declaration. And yeah, that works. But okay, let's just see what if we replace it with something else. Yeah, so imagine we want to replace the first one with the just a string. So yeah, and right now we have a PHP file error because the first argument must be integer. Well, that is absolutely perfect. And but what if we say we want to pass not just the str, but we want to pass this one. So 123 str, and this value according to PHP can be typecasted to an integer. So let's just check that out. But this is still a string. Okay. Yeah, and now this is just a notice. So we have a notice here, but later we have the 123 plus 2 equals 125, 125, and that is true. And so what this stuff does is it typecasts. It's not just strict types. These are typecasting. So PHP tries to convert this string into an integer behind the scenes, and this is a very important notice to be made in this video, because you have to understand that. You have to understand that magic which PHP does behind the scenes, and to be ready to that. So well, okay, but we can say that we want to use not just typecasting. We want to have a strict types in our PHP functions declarations, and we can do that by saying declare strict types equals 1, and let's just check that now. Yeah, and now we receive, for the same code, we receive an integer. We receive that the first argument has to be an integer, and yeah, that's pretty fair. But I have to mention that if you want to use strict types, if you don't want to use a PHP typecasting, which PHP does behind the scenes, you have to use that statement in every PHP file where you want to use that strict types, and that's maybe not that convenient, but that is how PHP 7 typecasting and type hinting works. So well, and that is a very important change. So you can use typecasting. You can use boolean here. So imagine you can use boolean here. You can use a string type. So that makes your code a little bit more documented and much more predictable. And these two stuff are very important because mostly you read your code, you read your workmate's code, and you spend more time reading code rather than writing code. So it is important to write code that is very easy to read. So yeah, and another change, let's go further, and another change introduced in PHP version 7 is that you can cache PHP fatal errors, almost all fatal errors, not all of them, but most of them you can catch right now. And so PHP script does not terminate when it see a file error, you can just continue this executing this PHP script, and you can catch this type error as I've just typed in. So for example, we can just echo this get message and echo we are going further. And let's just check that out. Yeah, it works. So right now we see that we have an exception saying that the first argument has to be an integer, but we are still but we still see that we are going further and the execution of our script is not terminated. So for me, that is all for that video, and I think that these changes are the most important ones. Maybe the most important, if I pick one, I would pick the type hinting, type casting of the function parameters and the return values. So these one are very important, and it is important to understand to get how these strict types work and how this type casting does by PHP behind the scenes. So well, okay, that is all for now. Thanks again for watching, and please leave a comments below if you think that maybe other changes in PHP 7 are very important, and I will probably cover them in specific and dedicated videos to these changes. So well, again, that is all for that video. Thanks again for watching, and see you in the next videos.